It's really important to balance your mix before exporting, and we've added a little sound meter down here to help you do that. Typically, when you import a song, any kind of pop song, or really any music for the most part, it's already been balanced and it's the right level that you need. And so you don't really need to increase the volume or decrease it. However, sometimes you'll have songs that are just really low in volume overall, and you'll be able to see it. It'll look something like this. And if you have a low volume clip like this next to a loud one, you'll be able to hear the difference between the two clips. So you'll want to kind of boost it up to kind of match. But what you want to avoid doing is increasing it too much. You don't want to see, this is called kind of a sausage waveform, where there's just not a lot of space or breath to it. You really want to dial it down and make it look something like this. This is ideal. And when you play back the mix, you'll actually see that our sound meter will give us an indicator of if our mix is too loud. So if I bump this up, you'll see when I play it back that we'll get this little red light that'll tell us, hey, that's a little bit loud. It's going to introduce some distortion or clipping, and it's just going to make the export sound a little bit ugly if you have a lot of these red light indicators on. So I'll play that back so you can see that. I need your loving like water in the bay. Let's walk down. So this isn't too bad, but I can tell it's a little bit too hot because those red lights are kind of staying on. So I'm going to bring it back down. And again, if it's at 0, typically that's going to be the perfect level because this is balanced, it's limited, it's kind of at the perfect volume for the most part. If I play this back, you'll see that there won't be any red indicators. Nice to meet you. Glad you came too. And that's kind of what you want. You want it to kind of be bouncing around those yellow areas there. When you have these transitions, you will see that it will peak because if you have like overlaying clips like this, you're essentially doubling the volume. So this is gonna, you're gonna have twice the volume here. If you do double up like this and you have two mixes playing on top of each other, this is gonna sound really ugly, but you'll see that it's just kind of smashing that red pretty good. So you'll want to pull those down if you're going to overlap them. And in this case, I would probably want to cut right here, right, and keep this one at a decent level, but then have these kind of fade into each other like so, but have this be lower so that it's not going to clip. Let's see what that looks like. Man, you spit smooth. Glad you came, best you come and say. I could probably turn them up a little bit more, but you kind of get the idea. If you have more than one happening, I need your loving like water. Yep, that looks a little bit better. You want to bring them down so that you're not, just smashing your volumes here. So I'm going to go back a little bit, just undo a few times, and just show you that when you have these transitions like a sound effect, it's okay to have like one little distortion clip. Some may argue with me that you don't want to have any, and there's definitely some merit to that. Here, that it lit up during the transition, and that's not a big deal. We do have a limiter happening in the background, and in layman terms, that's just kind of keeping the distortion and clipping to a minimum. But even with our background limiter that you don't interact with at all, we just do it to kind of help your mixes sound clean. If it's smashed like this, that limiter is not going to do much. Your mix is still going to sound really kind of horrible, honestly, if you export with a bunch of sausage looking waveforms like that. So that's kind of just a quick rundown on how to properly balance your mix and make things sound cohesive across any speaker and in any environment that you play your mix in. And a good volume, you don't want it to be too quiet, and of course not too loud as well.